Okay, hello, welcome back. So the previous video that I shot, I unboxed the Janome HD3000 BE sewing machine. And now I'm just going to go over some of the features with you, give you a review on how easy or difficult things were to figure out, and go from there. So if you want to look at the machine on a whole, if you lift up here, it has all the settings up here for how to program the machine for whatever stitch that you're looking for. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It has columns for width, length, whatever pattern you want to choose, what thread tension you should use, and if you need to use a different foot, which is those there. So for myself, I'm a fairly new sewer. I'm not like an expert sewer. Over the years, I've done like small little projects, like, occasionally I'd make a pillowcase, or, attempted to make other things like curtains one time and things like that. But recently, I've gotten into sewing more as a hobby. I've attempted to make some bags, and of course lately I've been making some masks just for friends and things like that. So it was getting to the point where the sewing machine that I was using was very old, and I was really enjoying starting to sew and wanting to be more advanced on my projects. So I thought that it was time to buy a sewing machine for myself. The one that I was using was borrowed from somebody else. So I did some research. I was looking for something that was heavy duty and mechanical. I did some research on computerized sewing machines, and I don't have anything against them. It's just that I'm very old school, and I wanted to stick with a mechanical sewing machine. Because I know me, and I thought that if something happened in regards to the computer portion of the sewing machine, that I would be totally lost. So that's why I stuck with the mechanical one. Okay, so if you want to just look at this section on the top here, this is where all the meat and potatoes of the sewing machine lies. So again, it has a tension setting, and this is for the buttonholes, and there's all these neat little spots for all the different feet, and they all correspond according to whatever letter is on the foot, which I thought was quite handy. As well as there's a place for your needles, and then this is a quilting tool. So again, you have your little legend up here, and you have the spool. Thread spool will go here, and this is where your bobbin will go. Now this has an interesting feature. So this is something that I find really interesting. There is an attachment that you can place in there, which you can put another spool of thread onto here, so that you don't have to take it off of your normal one, so that when you're spinning the bobbin, you can also use this one. So I thought that was a good little extra feature. I've been kind of fiddling around with this, and I'm going to show you some of the features on here and tell you guys whether or not I found it to be difficult or easy to set up. So this is, like I said, where you put the spool of thread. The one thing about this is that it's plastic and it moves up and down. Of course, the machine is new, so over time, I don't know if that's something that's going to remain sturdy or if it's going to start to deteriorate because of the plastic. But time will tell, I guess. So you put the spool of thread on there, and then you add this attachment here that keeps the thread in place. So I like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to wrap the thread around here and then through there, and then we're gonna thread the bobbin right now. So what I like to do is put it through there, and you're just gonna push it all the way over to the right, turn on the machine, and I like to hold on to this until we get a little bit of it going. And it's pretty easy. So that's done. And you can just undo it. And you have a little cutter here. So there we have it. And then I'm just gonna cut off that one piece there. Now I'm gonna place the bobbin in. This is super easy as well. I've only used a machine that has the bobbin inside here. This top loading bobbin is really easy to use. You just make sure that the thread is coming out on the left hand side, and then you're just going to drop it in, and there's a little bit of a gap there, and you're just going to pull it through that gap and hold it there. So when you're threading the machine, you're going to go through here underneath there again, and there's arrows. It's pretty standard the way that you thread it. I find that most machines are like this. Okay. Now there's a little latch here that you'll go behind. Now there is an automatic threader here, which took me a few times to figure out how to use it. So I'm gonna try and zoom in a little bit to show you guys how to use it. So you're gonna go down and just make sure that there's like a little needle coming out on the white plastic here, and that needs to line up with the hole of the needle. So you're going to wrap this around that bar and then through underneath, and then in front of the needle, and then underneath that little arm. And then you're just going to pull back and up, and then it creates that little hole back there, and then you just simply need to pull it out. It's a cool little trick. However, you know, I do still find it easier just to simply thread it right through, because that took quite a while. All right, and then we're gonna catch the bobbin thread. So it's the same as what you would normally do, which is simply using the hand knob to turn the needle, and then you just pair them up together, and then you can place the cover back on. So I really like the fact that this is clear and you can see how much thread you have left. So for that, fairly simple to set up, which I liked. For me being, you know, like a beginner, like the higher end of a beginner, these kind of things can be a little bit intimidating. So when I read over the instructions, they were fairly easy to follow. I did have to go online and watch a couple of tutorials, but once you see them once, it was really easy to set up. So that's that. And I'm going to give you just a quick demonstration. So right now I have it set on 13. 13 is just a straight stitch, and that's the stitch that I will be doing. Okay, I'm going to move forward, and then I'm going to reverse, just to lock in that stitch. Back again. The machine is really smooth. It sews very quickly, which is a really nice feature to have. And then there's the automatic cutter, which is great. So overall, my review on the Janome HD3000 BE is that it is a really good sewing machine. The features that I appreciate on the machine are, I love the color along with the hard case that comes with it. In case I needed to bring it anywhere, it's portable. It has the handle. So when you put the cover on it, the handle will go through the cover and then you can bring it to where you need to bring it. The price point on this machine is a little bit higher. It's kind of in the 500 plus price range. However, I definitely think it's worth it. The machine seems to be very durable and has a lot of great features on it. It has enough stitches for doing everyday type of sewing and working on some extra projects that you want to work on. It's very easy to learn how to maneuver through the instruction manual and to figure out all the different functions on the machine. So it's great for somebody who is past the beginner stage, getting into something where you want to work on a little bit more difficult projects and more challenging projects. I believe that this is going to serve that purpose in the most perfect way. So overall, 2 big thumbs up for this Janome HD3000. I think it's a great sewing machine. All the reviews that I've read on this machine have been absolutely great, and I'm glad to see that all the reviews turned out to be quite accurate. Definitely overall a great machine. So thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned for more reviews, more other things that are going to be coming up on my channel. Thanks again. Bye.